Hello, everybody. Gary and Mike again with Pivotal Advisors, and we are talking to you again as part of our Real Talk series for sales leaders and talking about sales leadership issues. And I've had a couple of interesting conversations lately. I came across a salesperson and I asked him how things were going, and he said, I gave up. It's my goals aren't achievable anymore. I just don't know what I can do. And that struck me funny. And then shortly after that, I got a call from a business owner, CEO, who said, everybody's really far off of plan. Do I reset all their goals and reset all their comp? And these questions are coming up a lot, Mike. So what do you consider when you're getting those types of questions?
Yeah, I think it's really common right now, and I think we're getting several of those. I think the first question to ask is this a one person problem or is this a group issue, right? I could take a group of, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 salespeople. And if I have one or two of them saying, oh, I can't make it anymore, well, okay, let's work with that individual on what's in the way if the other people are doing well. So let's take that for what it is and not go after the whole team for one person's issue. But if you're sitting there and saying to yourself, nobody's really making it, recent events have hurt our business. We're not getting to where we thought we were going to get to. Our original plan is feeling a little bit insurmountable. I think you got to look at that. You realistically got to look at it. And so the first questions we ask, as a sales leader, we always say, well, can I lower the goal and make everybody happy again? Well, the owner's going to come back and say, well, we're not making any money and we're not hitting our goals, or we're not making as much money as we want hitting our goals. So why would I lower the goal and make sure the salespeople get paid? Well, that's a pretty fair question, right? Mm-hmm. Why would I do that? But I think one of the things, as we kind of look at it, is the first thing we want to do is really sit down and say, okay, our original plan didn't work. The goal is still the goal. How can we sit down with the team and say, what do we have to do differently? How could we recraft a path to hitting our goal? And can we come up with something different? Can we raise prices? Can we go after different markets? Can we try something else to get us back to plan? We still have time in the year, and nobody wants to have a sales team that's giving up too quickly. It's like we're losing at halftime. Should we throw away the game? Mm-hmm. No, there's a comeback strategy, right? So how do we do that? So I think that's number one, is really to just say, how do we come back? We are not big fans of changing the goals, right? Then what you're doing is you're telling your sales team every time it gets tough, we change the goal. And that's going to bite you in the butt over time. I don't think that's good. We're not a big fan of changing the compensation, the overall compensation structure, because you put thought into that and you've set it up for a reason and you don't want to have a knee-jerk reaction. But let's say, Gary, you do all that work, you leave it alone, you do the best you can, and you really just can't see your way to plan. You've lost big customers, orders are just shut down, the pipeline's dried up. For whatever reason, you just can't do it, and now you've got a whole sales team that's really got their chin down a little bit and maybe giving up no matter how hard you've tried to replan. Then what do you do?
Let's plan to build off of what you said. Let's plan for what they can do. Where can they get to? I like there, and I want to plan on how much can I get out of my current customers? Is there any opportunities in my current customers to expand or do anything? Is there markets that are up? Are there different areas that I could go to? But building off of your plan there. But I don't want to make this the rest of the year plan. I want to make this a 30-day plan. I want to say, what can you do over the next 30 days to really kind of start driving to your comeback strategy? I like that term. And from a comp plan and a goal plan, I don't like to change them, just like you said, but let's make a goal for 30 days. And it can be around, depending on how long your sales cycle is. If you're very transactional, it can be around dollars. But if you're a longer sales cycle, it can be around, my goal is to find 3 new opportunities or 5 new opportunities. It's to get this many demos. It's to get this many new things out of a current customer or a new customer. But I send or set 30-day goals for my people. You can manage 30 days. Anybody can manage 30 days. And you help them come up with what those goals are to keep them in the game.
Yeah. And then I think, and 30 days is what we're trying to say is a good short period of time you can get your head around. If you have a very transactional business, that might be a weekly plan. It's probably in this kind of an environment, not a quarterly or a 6-month plan. It's just too long, right? You're saying,
Right.
keep it short, keep it tight. And then can we build in recognition and reward systems that reward for doing what we're asking people to do, right? Can we put things in place? Because it's kind of like it's giving them a sense of control back. And right now
Right.
they're feeling like they've lost control. If we can give that back and then recognize that they're doing everything we're asking them to and everything they can, what kinds of things we can do? Because we can't just go pay them a bunch of commission that we don't have the money to pay. What can we do kind of on those reward sides?
Well, there might be some things like spiffs or contests or things along those lines where they can earn some money. Um, Salespeople tend to be pretty competitive, so competitions and things are good. There is public recognition of the things they're doing well. And even if things they're doing well is, I got a new opportunity, we got into a place I've never got into, celebrate that. Talk about it in your team meeting, talk about it in your huddles. Make sure that the boss comes out and says, hey, I know times are tough, Mike, but way to go, opening up a new opportunity. This is exactly what we need at this time. Those simple things can keep people in the game and like I said, set those goals around achievable goals around meetings, opportunities, demos, whatever it happens to be. Keep track of it, make it public, celebrate whatever wins you can, but give somebody, I love your term, a sense of control over what can I get done over this next period of time. I like to think about the bigger crisis you have, the farther away from your goal is, the shorter periods of time that we need to set our goals and manage to.
Gary, I had somebody tell me one time, it's kind of like, I don't know what the big thing looks like, but how do I have a short-term common enemy, right? So the enemy is, can we get to 8? Can we fill 80% of the gap? Can we fill 70% of the gap? What's that comeback strategy? How can I do it? And then if people get active around that, that can be the new thing. No, I get it. It's not your owner
Sure.
might say, hey, it's not 100%. I don't like it. But you know what? If you get to 60 or 70, then say, hey, how can we get to 80? You can raise the bar as time goes. But if I get some sense of I can do this, it will contribute, it will make us better, and we're going to celebrate in some way, again, via public report, via CEO saying something, via, small little spiffs or things you can do, give them the parking spot up front, give them the, whatever opportunity. But if you can do those things, you're going to re-engage people because they're going to feel like they can do something and it isn't all just defeatist.
Yeah, this is the hard stuff. This is where I see that sales leaders separate themselves from sales managers.
Absolutely.
So if you are there and you are helping them choose a course of action, if you are helping celebrate their wins, if you are helping them motivate, if you are helping them get more in control, you're being a leader, not just a manager. The ones I see struggle, commiserate with them, and they're like, yeah, this is really tough. No, this is your time to shine. This is your time to be a leader and step up.
Yeah. And again, focus on that. What can you do? And take that to your boss so that they know what you're trying to do and they know they've got a good proactive team that still has their head in the game.
So again, kind of recapping, is this an individual issue or is this a team issue? If it's an individual issue, handle it like you always would. If it's a team issue, let's look at shorter term things. Let's look at shorter term plans. Let's look at shorter term recognition. Let's look at shorter term goals and keep people engaged for a short term. They can manage a short term. And this is time to step up and really show your leadership skills. So thanks for watching another one of our Real Talk Leadership series. We'll keep pumping these out. Keep watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our blog. We want to hear back from you, any comments that you do have. And you can always visit us at our website at pivotaldvisors.com. Thanks for watching.